Okay, here we are in issue 10. The cover is absolutely fantastical. What a magnificent cover. Here we see Dimitri and Geese's profile, and they make a great cover just together. What a beautiful cover. Okay, so I guess Dimitri's finishing off what he did from issue 9. He's jumping down from the moon, rather spectacularly. And then Awakened Iori is still taking... I think it's Awakened Iori, still just getting cut down by Genjuro. And then all of a sudden, Dimitri and Iori are outside. No, it's Awakened Iori. See, this doesn't make any sense. I guess he's in two places. I guess Awakened Iori and Iori are... But they both seem to be Awakened Iori. I guess he's in two... I thought they were two different characters entirely in the game, but whatever. And I guess they are here too. And then he... beats up. Actually, it looks like Iori's taking damage like Tomax and Xamot from G.I. Joe. When one gets hurt, the other one gets, you see the damage. Iori's got tunnels, wind tunnels around him. Genjuro's licking the blood. And, okay, so it was a spirit. He basically cut the spirit to pieces, to ribbons, and he's absorbed his power in his sword. I didn't know Genjuro could do that. Dimitri looks rather uncharacteristically like Guile. And then... he appears, oh wow, he appears right behind Genjuro. Dimitri does, in the castle. In Castlevania, the castle is a demon. I'm thinking that it's an extension of Dimitri's personality. So he has an omnipresence within it. And then he shoots his Chaos Flare, his super fireball. And Genjuro cuts it with his cards. And then Genjuro's a great character. Then he slices... Some of this battling is just it doesn't make any sense. Then he spins down with his heel kick. Dimitri does, and then he's continually blocking the sword with his forearms and cutting himself again with the Chaos Fire. And then he keeps teleporting behind Genjuro, and he keeps doing his bat spin, and then finally, no, not finally, punches him in the back. And then Genjuro swipes him, and then he punches him in the back. Genjuro goes for a swipe, and then he sneaks behind him and teleports and punches him in the back, sending him to the sky. And then he's back. Wait a minute. No, am I reading this right? I am reading this. Japanese books, you read them backwards, or Asian books, whatever you want to call it, Cantonese. Last I saw, he was sending him through the sky. Now he's back, cutting him down and cutting him with blades. Can't tell what's going on. Cutting him the ribbons. Both getting their shot in. He's punching his sword, which is highly unrealistic, but he's a vampire. And then he does his Ultra. And then Genjuro does his Exceed, rather, or his Super, and he cuts him through. And finally, I think, since it's one of the major splash pages, he gets him with a card dance and cuts him to ribbons. Dimitri falls. See, that was a little confusing there for a second. Then Dimitri falls down, and Genjuro steps on his face. And looks like he teleported. No. Who the hell is that? It looks like he's in two places. He stepped on his head, and he's laughing at him. Ha 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 ha. He's eating dirt. Then we cut back to Balrog. Balrog's like, "You son of a bitch!" And he puts on his mask, and then Genjuro's dun 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 dun. Not Genjuro, I'm sorry. Choi's dun 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 dun. And then Vega's disgusted that Choi is not beautiful. He points at him, and then he starts doing snakes and birds, which I don't understand the hawk thing, which I never associated a hawk with Balrog. The snake thing, yeah, because he has a snake around his chest. He comes at him with a red impact, soak in your own blood, bloody high claw. And he clips his hat, and Choi looks like Dimitri here with Choi glasses, with John Lennon glasses, and he's smiling. And he does his kick maneuver, the air stamp, and then he does a spin, and Vega goes flying, taking a bunch of shots into the whirlwind. He does his tornado, his Exceed, and then he grabs his hat, and it looks like Choi's won the battle. He did win the battle. And then here comes Mike Bison. Mike Bison's with Red Aramer for some reason. And he's coming off Firebrand, wherever country you're from, and he's stepping forth with Firebrand, and Choi's like, "Oh boy, look at these two." And then Dimitri, Firebrand's like, "Yes, hello, Choi." And then we cut to, again, I want the scene to finish, but we're gonna jump into Chinatown, and or Koreaville or wherever. And then we see Mai Shiranui and Kasumi walking down the streets, and then they're looking around, they're confused, just like women. No, just kidding. And then we see Hugo, and then Hugo's like, I don't get it! And they're like, oh no! And then Poison's there, and she's like, you don't look so tough! And then Hugo's getting red eyes, so I think the magical unicorn kids are possessing them. So Mai throws her fans, and then they're done swatted away by Hugo. And then Hugo's like, "Rah!" And the girls are like, we have to stop him for some reason. And then Mai does her air fireball flash, her mid-air move where she turns into a phoenix, I guess. And Kasumi does her wave, her standing wave. And it's a 2-on-1 match, and then Hugo starts to pull Mai, and she's tiny, like, because he looks like Goliath. And then the wave comes, and it looks like because of the wave, he dropped her. And then we cut back to the most interesting fight of all the book. We cut back to Sagat versus Ryu, and Ryu's like, rain, uppercut, tiger blow! And then it shows Ryu he's getting kicked to the ground, too sweet. And then Ryu's like, no, you can't! And he gets up. And then he starts doing this, and then it's kick to kick, and it's a Tiger Cannon, that's not the Tiger Cannon, but it's the Tiger Rain. The Tiger Rain versus Ryu's, his hurricane, his whatever you call it, his Super Tatsumaki Senpukyaku. And then all of a sudden the tornado takes over, and Sagat's like, what is this? No! And then there's an explosion between the two of them, and then they start breaking into sacred geometry, which is really stupid, and Ryo breaks into pieces. And then here comes Teddy the God, the Bogad, and for some reason, somehow Sagat's scar was recut. And Teddy the God's like, good luck! And then Terry wants a piece. He's like, you're a punk! And that's the end of Book 10.